In this video, we are going to look at editing our video and converting the file type. So the first thing I have done is transferred my file from my phone to my computer using my USB cable, and I've saved it here in this folder. Now I'm going to change the view in this folder to details to see what kind of file I have. If your file came from an Android phone, it's probably already an MP4 file. This file came from an iPhone, so it's an MOV file. In order to edit the file in Camtasia, I need the file to be an MP4. So if you had an Android file already, you're ready to edit in Camtasia. If your phone was an iPhone and you have an MOV file, we're going to need to change the format first. Okay. So there was a link to a piece of software called Any Video Converter in your project. So you had to download that on your home computer. And then if I open Any Video Converter, I can add the file. So let's find the folder that it's in. Here it is, already selected by default because I've done this once or twice before. So there's my folder. I'm going to open that, and you can see the video file came up here, and I'm going to convert it. Okay, so over here on the side, I'm going to be able to change the file format. Now, I've already selected my format, so you're going to need to select this for the first time. So you're going to go down to the bottom. The one I chose was in common video formats, and I want it to be an MP4, so I selected that format. The other thing you need to do before you can convert is choose your output folder. The output folder used by default may not be the same folder that you started with, so make sure that you change that. So mine was in on my desktop in 139 videos right there. So change output folder, and then click Convert Now. So the conversion should begin. It's going to take a few minutes. I'm going to pause this video and pick back up when it finishes. Any Video Converter has finished converting my file. Let me just show that if I look at the details, you can see that the new file is an MP4 file, so I'm going to be able to edit that file in Camtasia. Alright, so let me go ahead and close the Any Video Converter. The next thing to do is open Camtasia. So if you're on a JC computer, if you click on the Start menu, you might already see Camtasia over here in the Design menu. If it doesn't show up in the Design menu, you can search for it. So search for Camtasia and go ahead and run it. If Camtasia does not show up on the computer, you do have the option to install it. So let's look at installing it first. So if I go to the Software Center, start typing software center will come up. If you go to the software center on any JC computer, Camtasia is one of the options that you can install. So you will click on Camtasia Studio and then go back over to the bottom right here and click install. Okay. It takes a few minutes to install, but it is available to install on any JC computer. Alright, so once you have Camtasia installed, go ahead and again launch Camtasia. When Camtasia launches, it will look like this, and you're going to want to move our video file in. So I'm going to go ahead and open the file, grab the MP4, and just drag it over into this white area here on Camtasia. So that adds the video file to Camtasia. Then drag and drop it down into the first track, and then scoot it over so it's right on the end. The first thing I'm going to do is expand the first track, since I'm only going to be using one track right here, so I can see a little bit more. Next, I'm going to turn my speakers on. They're not usually on, and I'm going to hit play on the video so I can see how it begins. This question is on Exam 3 Review. It's number 14C. Alright, so one of the things I need to do to begin is to reorient the video since it's sideways right now. So I'm going to click on this little spinny piece and spin my video around. Okay. Now, you may also need to change the size of the blank space that you have to work with back here, and you can do that up here on this icon. I believe the size I've chosen is the one that says great for YouTube, since I'm going to put this on YouTube eventually, so I've chosen that size, said OK, and then I'm going to just drag this video and make it fill the space so that I can actually see what's going on here. Alright, so try to fill as much of the space as you can without making the video go blurry. And then we're going to play again. Now I noticed that there was a little bit of empty space before I started talking, See this empty space right here on the video? There's no voice bar. So I'm going to go ahead and split, highlight that first piece right there, and either hit the delete key on your keyboard or you can cut that piece out. I'm going to slide my video over there and I'm going to play again to see how that sounds. This question is on exam 3 review. It's number 14C. We're going to solve. Alright, so that sounded a little better. There wasn't as much of a pause in the beginning. Alright, so now I'm going to fast forward my video by dragging this bar, and I'm going to look for the transition between the two people. So right here, I noticed that I stopped speaking, removed the paper, and then the next person started speaking. So I'm going to cut that blank airtime out. So let me play right here before the end of the video, and then I'm going to try to cut right after I finish speaking. And then the square root of x squared is plus x. Alright, so I've already stopped speaking, so I stopped my video right here. I could move this back or forth if we need to adjust. And the video is selected. I'm going to hit the split tool again to split. And I'm going to move now over and try to figure out just before the next person begins. I can see that some of this right here, down here, is static. And then I've got the vocals coming up a little bit later. I'm going to try to cut just before those vocals. So I think it's going to be about right here. Let me cut or split this frame and we'll play just to make sure that was the right spot.
So we've gone from two.
Okay, so that sounds good. The vocals just started. So I'm going to highlight this piece that we want to get rid of and cut it, or the delete key on your keyboard. Then we're going to grab the new piece and slide it over. Okay, so listen to the transition just to make sure it sounds pretty smooth. Here we go. Those terms are alike. They're going to combine to -6 square root of x, and then the square root of x squared is plus x.
So we've gone from 2 radicals in our equation to just 1, and we're going to...
Alright, that transition was pretty smooth between the two people, so we're going to leave that one alone. There's one more transition in this video that I need to cut out. That was later on when we grabbed the calculator. There was some noise while I was trying to get it out of my bag. So I'm watching the video. It looks like right in here somewhere. Let me hit play so I can figure out where that transition should start.
I'm just going to go ahead and type that into my calculator and check to see that it's actually true.
Okay, so pause. We're going to cut the video, and I'm going to go a little bit further until I find out where there's the calculator, where we start using the calculator. Okay, so I think right here I can see buttons getting pushed. So I think that's the place where I'm going to start my video again. So I'm going to split, but I'm going to hit play first before I delete this part to make sure that this is the piece I want to keep.
So in my calculator I've got the square root.
That sounds good. So I'm going to delete this piece right here by cutting it, slide this piece over, and my video is good to go. Alright, so you can play it from the beginning just to make sure the whole thing sounds right. Make sure there are no other pieces that need to be cut. When you're done, you're going to save your project as, save your project in your file, and then that is the file, the Camtasia saved project file that you are going to send to your instructor.